So whenever you start working on a project, the first step is actually to decide the environment at where your projects will going to be developed and going to be in the production environment. Otherwise, you may end up with making a very wrong decisions. So that's why you have to first decide what you have to add in your environment so it can help you to at least get started writing your own projects. And yeah, as I'm writing this ERP project, I have decided my own environment too, and here I'm going to discuss the same with you all. So let's start it step by step. So, as you can see in the modern day dev environment, when you actually go for deployment, you find errors. Okay, like the platform is not that compatible. So, for your information, a platform, I mean a operating system plus the architecture on which the OS is actually installed. Okay, like the Ryzen machine or a Intel processor. Okay, that's going to be quite deep. So in order to overcome this kind of future risk, I am going to containerize my dev environment. And by containerization, I mean I'm going to use Docker. Why? Because Docker helped me to easily create my dev containers, and I just have to load the image, add the dependencies, and create volume. And here I'm actually ready to write my code and push it to the GitHub. So here is the help of the containerization. Okay, so the next step, after deciding the Docker, our next step is to decide what will be the part of our dev environment, at least that we can actually start. So in order to make things done in my dev environment, I'm going to add four components. Number one, the front end part. And for the front end, I'm going to create the Next.js project. And the second part is to provide the APIs and interact with database. So I'm going to use a fast API database, sorry, fast API framework of Python. Now the third part is the database. So for heavy traffic, MariaDB quite a great choice. So I'm going to use MariaDB for my this project. And I also need to visualize my MariaDB in certain GUI format. So I'm going to use Adminer. So once I know that I have to create these four containers to get my project started for development, I just have to go out and create the dev containers. So how to create a container in Docker. So in order to create a container in Docker, steps is as follows. Number one, create the image. You have to create a image for on which your Docker container is going to run. Then you have to create the container. Okay. And if you have a project already created, then you just have to copy the project to the container. Otherwise, if you are developing a project, you have to create a persistent volume because persistent volume will help us to store the code in our disk. I mean our hard drive or the modern day SSDs. And also, as I'm actually going to expose a port, so I have to expose a port so the environment outside the container can also access. For example, for fast API, I'm going to expose port 8000. Okay, it's enough talking. Now let's dive to the code. So as you can see, I have written a few code for my this containers. So if I go down at this part and let me go to my project. So it takes some time. VIR, TD, and now work. cd code kitchen dir cd erp slash school. Okay, cd school erp system. And you can see there is a compose file. Let me open it in the VS Code. So, okay, going to be okay, code dot, and now it's going to open the VS Code for me. And in this VS Code, you can see I have created a compose file here, composer YAML. And composer YAML actually includes my four components of this project. One is the DB. Let me zoom in. So this is DB, and this DB is using the image of mariadb latest from Docker Hub. Then there is adminer image, which is adminer latest from Docker Hub. Then I have my API backend, and I place the Docker file inside this backend directory. And similarly for the web UI, I am actually have placed the Docker file in this front end. Let me show you the Docker file and explain it step by step. So here I am inside the backend Docker file, and you can see I actually pulled the Python 3.11 bullseye from Docker Hub and actually set the work directory as slash app. So when I get into the container, my work directory will be slash app, that is the app directory in the root. Okay, and then I actually going to expose this port 8000 so my computer can actually view it on the local host rather than going inside the container. And also, as soon as my container comes up, it will run this bin bash. So my container will up until I not stop the container manually. Otherwise, if I add some other command which is not going to take long, like which not takes input, then it will shut down my container as soon as the execution gets completed. I hope it's clear to you. Now, this is for the Docker file. And here you can see I haven't I have written things at here. And in the compose file you can see I have created a volume, like as you can see at here, dot backend, and then I have add the app. So what actually happening at here, that I'm actually mapping the volume, that is this backend directory. You can see here this backend directory with this slash app. So you can see the content of this backend directory in this slash app inside the container. Okay, and this is the command which will going to run as soon as my container will come up. Similarly for web UI, if I go to the front end part and I open Docker file, you can see it at here, node lts jod. Okay, but I have to go inside the web UI. Inside the web UI you can see there are files. Okay, and I have this Docker file at here, and you can see node lts jod is the image from Docker Hub. Similarly, I have written the work directory, then copy the exactly this base directory, and then 3000, and then bin bash. Okay, and then I actually created the container. Okay, it's enough talking and display. Now I show you the containers in action. So here's an easy step. First, let me start the another instance of this terminal so we can actually go inside it. But for now, dir, you can see compose at here. Now I will write docker compose up, and my containers will come up one by one. You can also see it at here in the Docker desktop. You can see my all containers are now up, and now we can go inside it, or we can just simply use it from outside. Let me show you. Like as I want to go inside the adminer, I will write localhost 8080, and you can see the adminer is up now. Root and school erp. Okay, that's the wrong credential. School erp, and let me log in, and you can see the table which I actually created. Okay, and if I show you the admin part, you can see the description. Let me select the data, and you can see data inside this inside this DB. Now, if you want to see what's inside the MariaDB, so first of all, let me see which containers are up. And you can see the list of containers which are up right now. And I just go inside them one by one to just show you what is inside them. So let me go Docker exec -it and paste the container ID and let me type when bash. Now I'm inside the MariaDB container and let me do ls and you can see that there are certain files, I mean certain directories. If you write pwd, I'm at the root. Okay. Now if I try to log in mariadb -u root -p root and you can see I'm inside the MariaDB now. If I write show databases, so it's quite a simple SQL query going on. Now use school ERP. You can see now if I type show tables and here you can see the table. And if I perform select star from admin, you can see the table. So pretty much fine up till now. Okay, exit. Now exit from this part also. Okay, now it's time to go inside the API. Okay, if I perform Docker PS again, I just have to copy the API container ID and I just perform this bin bash thing at here. And now inside the container, you can see the files are already here. I just have to run uvcon app dot main :app host 0.0.0 port 8000 reload. And you can see okay, I got an error because I actually created a .venv file. Okay, so I have to just start that env. I have to activate that env, resource it. Now if I run uvcon, you can see my container, sorry, my backend server will come up and you can see it's here. Now I just have to go up this part and write localhost 8000 and okay, it's taking a bit time right here to come up. Okay, you can see the portal admin is here and okay, the application is up. Now if I try it again, you can see there's a simple get request which is 200. Okay, and you can see the output. Okay, fine. Now let me close this server for now. It's for demonstration purpose only. Now I will perform Docker PS again. And now I just want to go inside this web UI. So I will simply copy this ID and let me remove this part and I'm inside the web UI. Now if I go cd web UI ls, you can see the files at here. I just have to run npm run dev and I'm actually, yeah, my server is coming up. Now if I just have to go here and change the port to 3000 and wait for the server to come up, and it's taking a bit time. Now you can see the front end, I mean the web UI is up and running. And it's Next.js 15.5.1 and here you can see the Next.js thing is up and running. Okay, so this much is enough. So this much is the part of this video. Uh, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe it and also like this video. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to share with one of your good friends. And yeah, if you want something more like freelancing services and all, the okay. If you want any kind of freelancing services, the link is in the description. Go and check it out. My count and fever. I'm your friend Abhishek Roka, and I will see you next time.